Welcome to the channel. This is Go Gretty and welcome to the GT7 2022 Gran Turismo World Series round number 8. Tonight we are at Maggiore. We are in the Group 4 cars. It is a fuel-saving race, and well, what I thought would be an extremely boring race turned out have some excitement at the end. So stick around, check it out. Lobby opens up. We are in the second split. Outstanding. That's where I want to be to try and beat the 271 points I have sitting right there. So I'm going to need a good finish in this race. Of course, as I always say, if you want to finish well, you got to start well. You got to put in a good qualifier. Here, I've been hunting for slipstreams all qualifying long. We've put in 6 laps. My best time right now is sitting at 56.756, but I know I can do better. I can just grab a little slip, and I find this Alfa Romeo in front of me, but he seems like he is slightly out of reach, so I'm trying to catch up to him, trying to maybe get some of the slip, and I notice I got a purple sector there. I'm like, heck yeah, purple sector, haven't even gotten the slip yet. And then as I come around the corner, it looks like he takes it a little bit slow, which is good. Then he goes wide. I'm like, no, don't go wide. I need your slipstream. But he recovers well, and I'm like, all right, this isn't the end of it. I might still be able to make something happen here, depending on how he finishes his lap. I get down through Biggie Banky Boy there, and boy, now I'm really making a good run on him as we're coming up through the final last few corners before the finish line. I'm like, this is going to be an okay lap. It's going to be an okay lap. But then I make a boneheaded error and just take a terrible angle, hit the wall, still pick up a 10th with a 56.634. So end up qualifying in P7. Not too bad for the start of the race, considering the competition. I'm not in a BMW M4 or an Intenza or one of those OP cars. M4 really the OP car here more than anything else. The Intenza right up there with it. So at the start, you'll see I dropped my fuel map from 6 back down. I put my fuel map up to 6 during the introduction to try and save as much fuel as possible. And then now it is time to start short shifting and saving fuel. You got to make it all 20 laps on 1 tank of fuel. Pit stopping is just going to cost too much time. So you basically have one of 2 choices. That's the really short shift, or play with the fuel mapping, move it up and down, leave it on 2. You got to have to do something with the fuel mapping. I chose to just short shift as it kind of simplified everything, and I'd done a few practice races, was able to make it work, so I figured why not just do it here in the race. And right now trying to catch up to SV Cantilever in front of me, trying to get into his slipstream to have him help me save some fuel. But of course he doesn't want to help me save some fuel, so he's trying to scamper off in the distance and doing a pretty good job of it, I must add, just like he did the other night in our practice lobby. And I know that his pace seems to pick up as the race goes on in that Nissan Silvia. The little sucker scoots along pretty nicely on this track in a fuel saving race. So I'm going to fast forward here a little bit further as this pretty much just repeats itself about the next 5 laps until here on lap number 6. Heading down towards Big Banky Boy. Cantilever makes a move on the inside of the Intenza of DYI, but DYI takes it wide, coming out Big Banky Boy into the sand trap. Get a Gretty pass. Boy, I needed that, as you just can't get a lot done in these races, in these fuel-saving races, when it comes to passing. It just seems like you're just kind of just sitting there stationary behind the car behind you, especially with the gap that we had at the start of this race. It was a crazy gap on the rolling start. Really kind of put everyone out of each other's reach right at the beginning. I personally think I would have enjoyed a standing start on this race a little bit better. It would just provide a little more action, a little more excitement. Speaking of excitement, let's fast forward to lap number 15. Once again, down in Big Banky Boy, I see a yellow flag and I see a slowed down car ghosted out on the left. That is the McLaren 650S of Castillos. And I make another Gretty pass as he went off track, got loose in the sand and found the wall. Comes back on track, lost a lot of speed. Now if you see there across the line, I got 5 laps left, but I got 4.5 remaining in the tank. That's not good. I'm a half a lap down on where I need to be to finish the race with fuel in the tank. If we run out of gas, folks, that is not good. It's kind of hard to make it to the finish before everyone else when you're not moving. So I've got a bit of a problem here. So I slap it up to fuel mixture number 2. Still got a short shift and still got to hold off what is now a nice little pack of 3 behind me. I'm like, of all the times that everyone behind me has to do well and save fuel and stay at each other's slipstream, is this one moment when I'm a half a lap short on fuel in a fuel-saving race. So yes, I'm a wee bit nervous here as we're heading into lap number 17. Got 4 to go, and I have 3.6 laps of fuel remaining. Got an NSX followed by McLaren, who qualified well ahead of me. Qualified about 3/10 up on me, so the guy's definitely got speed in that Macca. And behind him, S7 hovercraft in the Megane, which is always a good car when it comes to fuel and tire saving races. So it could get interesting. See another yellow flag. Don't know what that's about. Come around the corner hoping to see someone on the side of the road. No such luck. NSX gets a little loose coming out of the corner there, but I can't really do anything to break free from him because I can't rev out the car because I'm short on fuel. Down through Big Banky Boy yet again, and we see Cantilever right there in front of us, so he may have had an error just recently, but not enough for me to make anything happen. I'm really hoping they race hard with each other right here. I'm really hoping they cause each other to lose a lot of time because I need all the help I can get. As we go around through these double left-hand sweepers, I've only got 0.35 seconds gap between me and the NSX. Not expecting any kind of move right here as we're both pretty evenly paced through here, but he gets down into my quarter panel and kind of shoves me wide there on a pretty strong move. I thought a little bit on the dirty side, but let's have another look at it, and you can judge for yourself. What do you think? Sends it down the inside. Not much of a gap there. He kind of made a gap by pushing me out of the way. And then he got a little bit of bump from behind from the McLaren. Maybe got a bump from behind the McLaren going in the corner. Not really sure. So moving on a little further down the road, we got quite a group going into Big Banky Boy. And the NSX down the inside. Hovercraft cut off. It looked like he might have got bumped again from behind by the McLaren as we're coming up through the left-hander. It's a faint little bit of red on my right side, and I think that I've got him cleared. So I'm going to move over to the right here, but I did not actually have him cleared, and then he pushes me off into the wall. And I thought it was because I accidentally forced him off track. He was like, well, I'm going to force you right back off track. So I was like, that was my fault. I wasn't quite clear of the car. I did not have my radar on. Even if I had those dots on these new radars, so stinking small. But anyway, then Hovercraft lets off there. I thought he ran out of fuel right there. When I watched the replay, I realized, and later in the race, I realized he had actually let off for running me into the wall, giving the position back in a great show of sportsmanship. So tip of the hat to you, Mr. Hovercraft. I will definitely remember that. So heading down through Banky Boy, the NSX and the McLaren are taking off into the distance. You see there, I have 1 lap of fuel remaining, and we're not quite to the start-finish line yet. And I've got Hovercraft all over the backside. I'm taking the inside line away. He switches it back to the underside. I brake late, get down in the corner, trying to hold off that Megane trophy behind me. Getting to 4th gear. I'm in fuel map 2, trying to save some fuel while I'm in an area where I know he can't pass me. Maybe should even gone to 3 right there. But now he's really making a nice run on me in these double corners. So I take the inside line again. He goes to drive it around the outside, but backs out of the move. And then I pull it in tight on the hairpin. Then he gets a really nice run coming out of the corner. But again, I have to switch up to fuel map 2 as I only have 0.4 laps of fuel remaining. We got almost a full half lap at least. Going into Big Banky Boy, I'm going to put it down the inside there. He's going to get the cut back on me, or at least try to, but doesn't quite make it work. Coming up the hill, I've got 0.1 laps remaining. I'm like, am I going to make it? I go to 0. I don't know if I'm quite going to make it to the top of the hill. I run out of fuel right there on the apex. Hovercraft bumps me from behind, actually gets a penalty, a 2-second penalty, and drops behind me. So Hovercraft had actually passed me at the end of the race, but unable to take that position as the bump from behind when I ran out of fuel, well, that caused a penalty. And he at the end of the race, he said, "You blocked me." I was like, yeah, I did block you, but I was on the apex, and then I just ran out of fuel. There was really nowhere else for me to go. So anyway, what a wild race. Quite an ending there. Enjoyed it, even though it got a little bumpy and pushy there in parts. It was still a fun race. So hope you enjoyed the action. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back and check out some more. For myself, Go Gretty, y'all have a great evening. DJ Clean, take us out of here. you.